What's up? It's Ben. And before you think this is going to be just an ordinary story video, think again, because I'm making this video for anyone who wants to hear my story or anyone who's doing e-commerce right now and feels incredibly lost in this journey. In this game of e-commerce, it can feel like a lost hope at times, and it can literally feel like there is nothing you can do to actually succeed. But I'm making this video to help shine that light on you so you can feel a little bit more comfortable going out into this world of the unknown and actually succeed in this industry. It all started pretty much when I was a kid, and I know a lot of people when they were a kid, they'd say they knew that they wanted to be an entrepreneur and they knew they wanted to be rich, but quite honestly, when I was a kid, I had no clue I wanted to be just that. But what I did do is I was insanely engraved into hustling and flipping products to people at my school. Whether it was selling jewel pods to the stoners at my school, or flipping fidget spinners, or even silly bands, any of those trendy niches that actually popped up, I was there and I was selling it for a profit to kids at my school. I'd literally make Instagram accounts, follow every single person who I knew went to my school, and my DMs would flood in with people who were interested in buying my products. I remember I DM them back on my phone and say, meet me at locker 301, and they'd give me only cash for my whatever I was selling them. And that is how I actually made probably my first $1,000 in real life in cold hard cash. Quite honestly, I was very irresponsible with money when I was super young, just like any kid would be. I bought shoes, I bought Yeezys, I bought like Supreme and like literally just dumb clothes. And I pretty much spent all the money that I ended up making, right? It would be such a cool story, a fantasy land if I invested that money in the S&P 500 and grew it to $1 million, but that simply wasn't the case. What I can say is with the money that I made from selling stuff to my kids at school, I was able to actually buy my first ever PC. It's actually the PC that I still use to this day, and I can say that's probably been the highest ROI buy I have ever made in my life. So that pretty much concludes my 6th grade to 8th grade life. Once again, I was just flipping stuff. I made my first $1,000 selling fidget spinners, jewel pods, and a whole bunch of other things that you probably are like, oh, was that a trending thing? Yes, I was there, I sold it, and I made money off of it. Moving into my 9th grade to 11th grade life, this was where things kind of really didn't match up for me, right? Just like anyone who's kind of in that stage, you're trying to figure out who you are, what you want to do, and you try to fit in a lot, and that's exactly what I did. During this time, I was not the kid who fit in with others. I sucked at all sports I played, and I was not the popular kid whatsoever. Quite honestly, at this point in time in my life, I lost all of that drive, all of that excitement and fun that I previously had when I was in middle school selling stuff. During my 9th to 11th grade life, I completely lost touch with all of that in my life because I was so focused on pleasing others, doing things for others, and giving away so much of my energy to other people just because I wanted to be liked. And when I say this, I genuinely mean it. My life for those 2 years was pleasing others, doing things for others. It was pretty pathetic and honestly not very healthy at all. Now that I look back on it, obviously at the time, I had no clue I was doing this, but looking back on it now, it was not a good part of my life. At this time, keep in mind, I was probably around 5'3", 100 pounds, and I was insanely skinny. I never really went to the gym, and so just on top of that, I was like this super short kid who was trying to please everyone else. It was just a whole entire mess. But just like any story like that, hopefully, if you're listening to this as well, you kind of have a little bit of a come up story, and that's exactly what happened next. During my 10th grade and 11th grade year, I decided to actually hop in the gym. Because I was so skinny, short, and didn't weigh much, I actually was really motivated to hop into the gym, and I'll tell you why this is such an important part to my story in just a second. All in all, I started going to the gym. I became highly obsessed with the gym, and I started feeling that same exact drive that I'd feel when I was literally following everyone on my Instagram accounts, messaging them, DMing them all day, and flipping products online just like it was in middle school. That drive when I was in the gym felt exactly the same, and it was actually starting to come back ever since starting going to the gym. Now, going to the gym was something that I saw as huge for me, right? I could build muscle, I could look better. It was amazing, and I became highly obsessed. When I say highly obsessed, I mean I was going to the gym for 2 to 3 hours a day. I'd come home, probably eat 4,000 to 5,000 calories a day. And yes, I do mean that. I'd have a protein shake with like 4 different scoops of protein. I'd throw in a bunch of fruit and drink that like 2 times a day. I was downing calories. I actually got to the point where I was 180 pounds. My max ever squat I did was like 385 pounds. And I was like pretty chubby at that point. Like I got from like this skinny kid, I kind of like hit puberty a little bit. I grew up and like I started bulking like crazy and I gained a lot of weight. Obviously, you look at me now, I'm not like that chubby. So I've clearly lost weight and I'll get into that in just a second. in. The reason why the gym was such an important part to my story is because it taught me how to persist through things. Even though I was super skinny, I didn't really care about the results. My mind told me if I go to the gym enough, I will see results, and that is something I know that I've been born with that a lot of people actually aren't. My brain said if you go to the gym, you will see results. You just have to show up every single day. And that is something that I've carried into my life, into business, and I think it is so crucial to take with you into anything you do. I just became obsessed and I trusted the process. That is something that was crucial that the gym taught me, and I follow by that to this day. Summer of my 11th grade year, moving into my 12th grade year of high school, this was when I really started to think about how can I make money. You know, the gym was cool. Being this 185-pound dude was cool. Being able to squat this much was cool. My bank account literally had like 13 bucks in it. So I was trying to figure out how can I make money online, just like anyone who's eager to make money. I saw pretty much every single side hustle you saw as well. Trading, agency. I look at, you know, Ivan Gatzi's videos going over agency, but something that really kind of stuck with me was dropshipping. Do I know why I chose dropshipping? No, but I was just led down that path, and I do not regret it. Dropshipping is what I chose. Quite honestly, I was not naturally gifted at dropshipping at all. I pretty much sucked at everything I did in this industry, and it was an absolute, just horrific sight to see. I sucked at the most basic stuff. And just like you should as well, you should suck at the stuff that you start doing. I know there are people who will start businesses and they're just naturally gifted. For me, I was nothing like that. I sucked at pretty much everything I did. And I want you watching this video to know you don't have to be good at business. You don't have to be naturally gifted to actually get started and succeed. Despite how much I actually sucked at dropshipping, and I do emphasize that I was horrible at it, I just stuck with it. And that is actually what caused me to succeed. And I can proudly say that on this camera. Sticking with it caused my success. So fast forward a little bit, I just finished high school. I finished my 12th grade year, and I found my first ever winning product during that summer. Keep in mind, after you finish your senior year in high school, this is typically in the USA, where you have around a 3 to 4 month period before you start your freshman year in college. This was my summer break, and I knew I had to make something work. This was actually when I found my first ever winning product, which was, as you may or may not know, the Dyson Airwrap Dupe. Now, I call it a winning product, but I probably made my first $5,000 to $6,000 of profit with that product. But that's pretty much all I needed to get hyped up, become obsessed with this once again. At this point, I had a choice, either to listen to my siblings, my parents, and what everyone else in my high school was doing and go to college, or I lock in, literally put my future at risk and go all out on dropshipping purely based on the fact that I've only made $5,000 very recently with this business model. And obviously sitting here now, I've made the decision to go out on dropshipping. It honestly took a lot of mental debate to decide and make this decision. It was not something I was just like, oh, I'm going straight for it. It was something that was genuinely stressful for me because I sucked at taking tests in school. I failed like my SAT and ACT, and for those of you that don't know what that is, that's like a standardized test in the US. I was I'm Asian, so I'm like kind of like naturally good at like school, but I was getting C's and stuff. And as an Asian, that's pretty bad. So I was like not the best at school, and I really had to ask myself, if I'm not good at school, why am I gonna be good at business? And looking back on it now, that was a lack of knowledge, because the business world does not care how old you are. It doesn't care what grades you get in school. It doesn't care about anything about you. It just cares about what you can provide to the marketplace. That is what's so good about business. But something was just telling me to go all out on dropshipping, that there was like this little voice in the head that would not go away. Although I was very close to going to college, there was just like this little voice in my head that was like, you have to just lock in on dropshipping. This is like the opportunity for you. And I did that. Keep in mind, I was still pretty crusty at dropshipping at this point. Like, I've only made 5,000 bucks. So in my bank account, there's probably only been like $4,000 to $5,000 in there. So I'm sitting there putting my whole entire future at risk, and I'm like, yo, do I want to do this? I was still pretty bad at dropshipping. I honestly didn't really know what I was doing, but listen up. I just stuck with it. And I'm gonna say that over and over and over again in this video, but I need you to understand that. I put my whole entire future at risk, went all out on dropshipping, and my only choice was to stick with it. A lot of you guys watching this video, I know you guys want to become successful. I know you guys want to make a whole bunch of money dropshipping, but most of you guys don't stick with it. You guys are doing this and then that and this and that. I just stuck with it. Fast forwarding from my senior year in high school, AKA when I found my first winning product, to present day. It is Tuesday, July 2nd, 2024. at exactly 1 p.m. People from my hometown, I believe like 2 or 3 weeks ago, actually just finished their first year in college. That would have been me if I made that decision. Over that time span, once again, of making that executive decision during the summer break to now present day, I've been able to scale multiple Shopify stores to 6 figures in profit online. You may have seen some of my other case studies on this YouTube video, see me fly to cool places, travel to cool places, go to cool lounges, drive in cool cars, buy nice watches, and some other crazy stuff. But I also do want to emphasize that it's not even my everyday life. I quite honestly work all day. This is just pretty much a byproduct of what I've been able to do. Even stuff like seeing my students win and see a bunch of other of my businesses grow is also pretty much a byproduct of the hard work I've been able to put in. What I enjoy seeing the most is seeing myself improve in business each and every day and being able to get better and just gain more knowledge, because ultimately knowledge is what's been able to get me here. I know we kind of went fast from when I was in a middle schooler to now present day where I just turned 19 years old like a month and a half ago. But honestly, that's exactly how it's felt, and I can't really emphasize it any other way. When you sit in a room all day for a year, time really does go by fast, and I truly do mean that. It's really hard to emphasize and make this glamorous story that's gonna be so flashy to you guys, when in reality, I sat in a room for 16 hours a day and I worked every single day for an entire year. That is literally how it looked. If I could give one piece of advice to my younger self, it would be to just number one, stick with it, and number two, be careful who you listen to. I have this saying that I tell people, and it's that you can listen to anyone, but you cannot listen to everyone. Listening to everyone is just going to damage your mind, and you're gonna get so many different opinions, it's going to drive you insane. I am truly aware that my story is nothing short of impressive, but the reason why it's impressive is because most people aren't able to do this themselves. There are literally like 6 billion people on this earth like walking around, and I am certain every single person who watches this video, like completely certain, has the full capacity to do exactly what I have done. Now keep in mind, I told you my story in the past, I don't even know how long, but I was not born with any good skills. I was not naturally good at business. I wasn't even not naturally good at anything. In fact, I suck at everything I do to this day. The reason why I get good at it is because I sucked at it, number one, and then I just put in the time to get good at it. I am always learning at anything I decide to put my time and effort into, but I just decide to learn. But yeah, once again, I'm certain, literally with the highest conviction level, that everyone watching this video on a world of billions of people has the capacity to do exactly what I have been able to do. Although my story is impressive, you can do it as well, because there's nothing different from me and you besides I have just put in more hours into a laptop and working than you have. Now, moving forward into present day, into the future, now talking to Ben's future self, I'm working on expanding my businesses. So I'm hiring more people for my e-commerce stores. I'm investing my money into different places for it to grow. I'm building SaaS companies. I'm expanding my value club, and I'm helping as many people as I can with Value University. I wanna motivate y'all real quick before we end this video. It is a random Tuesday afternoon. The time is like 1 p.m. I just decided to come to Miami, and no, I'm not telling you this to make you feel bad or to make you buy my course right now, but I just want to show you, like, this is truly what happens when you lock in, right? I know a lot of my videos are sitting just at a desk in a room, because that's genuinely what I do most of the day, but it's really cool to make a video for you guys right now and be able to show you a view like this. It's Tuesday, people are working, I'm working as well, but we're just doing it a little bit in a different way. Doing cool stuff in Miami. In fact, I'm actually shopping for apartments today. I'm literally hanging out with e-com dudes in the industry. I'm having fun here. I'm getting sun. It's an amazing life to live, and I want you guys to almost feel like you're living this right now in real time, because this is exactly what I think a lot of you guys dream of. I really, truly only locked in, like seriously, for maybe a year, right? I've been doing business for probably a year and a half. Some could even say my whole life, ever since middle school. Truly locking in and really putting my dedicated effort into it, it's been around a year and a couple of months. Like, this is really what life can be. I know I've talked about being able to scale multiple stores online to 6 figures in profit, but I don't think anything hits as hard as actually being able to show it in real life. Now, I've truly been able to change my life from just selling stuff online. Obviously not dumb stuff, but I've been able to sell real good products online that truly do help people's life. And this, just for example, is one store is able to scale up to over past $1 million in revenue from November to January of last year. Now you may be wondering, am I still running this? Yes, I'm still running to this day. And actually I'm in the process of exiting this store as we speak. So you can see how fast life can change for you just by selling one product. Obviously this is like a niche store, but you get the point. Now I have other stores on my Shopify that literally have like 6 figures in revenue, multiple 6 figures in revenue, like adding up to like almost $1 million. But you get the point, right? I wanted to show you guys the proof in real life. The P&L in the store is like somewhere around like 300K. It's done well past what I just showed you in the revenue of 1.1 million. It's done past that. I'm in the process of exiting it, but it truly is possible, right? It's often looked at times in life that, you know, looking at these numbers, I'm sitting on this balcony, not many people get to experience this, but there's a reason why you have countries built on wealth. Like it's becoming less and less rare to be living this lifestyle. Now, with that being said, lock in, ladies and gents. If you guys feel lost or truly do need some help, shoot me a DM. I'll help you out as much as I can for free. For those of you that want to take stuff more serious and want a community behind your back in e-commerce, because I truly believe that is the #1 way, and the way that I was actually able to succeed my progress in e-commerce so fast is joining a community. I have a community for literally $2 a day. You can join. It's called Value Club in the description. If you're looking for some one-on-one help with me, then you can join Value University, but there is no pressure for that. This was simply just a video to tell you guys my story because I am proud of it. You guys should be hyped up and ready to start your journey as well if you have not already. And if you have started your journey, keep killing it, keep grinding, because I can tell you right now, if you invest in your knowledge, you work every single day, you show up every single day, you try your actual best, your true best, you will succeed. It's literally impossible not to. Everyone in the world cannot live this lifestyle because that's not how the world functions. Everyone watching this video does not account for the entire world. I am truly confident you are watching this, you can live this exact same lifestyle. There's nothing stopping you. Be one of the very few who succeed in this world. With that being said, I'll catch you guys later.